bits and pieces that, you know, everything that's changing around the world is obviously pushing energy prices up. But where does it stop? Because obviously you're now affecting people's mental health.
Well, it can only go up to a point that people can afford it. Like I'm saying, obviously it's going to push people over the edge. But in the end, if you physically can't, if say everyone can afford it, well, it couldn't go up. Sorry, I was late.
Go on, why are you late?
Because every other week I go and sit with my friend's mum who has dementia, and we watch videos and just talk and play games and stuff, and it kind of overrun. But I didn't want to cut it short because I knew she was really, like, she doesn't remember me anymore. So it's every single time I sort of see her, it's like first time, so we're just explaining stuff. But I don't think she was ready for me to go, and I felt like that was more important. So I just thought, like, being about 5-10 minutes late.
It is more important.
Is that right?
Mate, it's more than all right. You can't. She wasn't ready for you to go. Hang on.
She's an amazing person. Her name's Brenda, and she's an amazing person. Just, it's really sad because she's still relatively quite young for it to.
Oh really?
Yeah, it's not cool. I know. So she was the first person I spoke to when I moved to where I live.
I was about to say you're not silly enough. I thought you was about to say it.
Yeah, when I moved to Theo, there you go. It's fine, but like. And she has always been lovely to me. So just because something has been being taken away from her doesn't mean I don't have time for her. So I try and see her as much as I can.
That's brilliant.
Is that right?
Yeah, no, brilliant.
Oh, yeah.
Fair play.
She's lovely. So
you look knackered. Why are you looking so tired?
I think it's the same reason. Just like still with this routine. I've also been working with it. So I've been in Glasgow. I was working a weekend. We had this event. For a charity I work for called The Power of One, which is about the documentary stuff that we're doing as well. And we had a huge event. Leona Lewis was headlining. Rexu have written a song for the whole thing, and I was not only singing at it, but I was also the presenter, co-presenting with.
Oh wow!
I know. So my feet didn't touch the floor the whole night, and it was really rewarding, but it was really tough. But I just haven't had any time, and I've got stuff after this and stuff. But you know what? I've always said you sleep when you're dead. So I've had 4 hours sleep for the last 2 nights each. Like, so 4 hours last night, 4 hours today. So, and that's it.
Bloody hell.
Yeah, it's all good.
It's all good. Normally you kind of look like quite fresh, and you can actually see he's had a hard bank holiday, right?
Yeah. It's like Kalan's had a good bank holiday though.
Yeah,
so
I have, but I'm tired for the wrong reasons.
It's never for the wrong reasons. If you go out, you went for it.
Yeah, I certainly went out.
I like that.
Whereas you went out to Glasgow. I mean,
yeah, I was working in Glasgow, but I was filming gifts in Glasgow.
Yeah.
So we were doing like all different outfits, and then we were like literally filming on green screen.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So it was cool.
So then, Kalan, what we up to today then?
Oh, that was a quick check-in.
That was a massive check-in. I didn't even get to you. What about you?
Let's backtrack on that a minute. How are you, Scott?
I knew it was coming
Jesus.
to me. I knew it was going to come to me. That's what I was trying to.
Well, that's normally what happens. It goes like to me, to Kalan, to you. So
I was trying to get Kalan to speak about his weekend rather than mine, because all I did.
Okay, yeah, my weekend was great. I mean, spent a lot of money.
You said this.
Had a great time.
Did we get a figure about how much it was?
It's a good blowout. I mean, I spent over 250 quid on Saturday.
Oh.
Yeah.
On what?
On Saturday.
On what?
Literally just drink.
I bought a new light for £250. Is that?
Do you know, my problem is, right, when I say about I help people, as soon as I get a little bit drunk, I want to buy everyone drinks.
That's not helping people.
You one of them?
Yeah, I'm one of them.
I ain't one of those.
Yeah, like on Friday, I got paid from the other company I work with.
Sorry, you work somewhere else?
Yeah, I freelance.
Oh,
yeah,
no. Do you know what you've just done?
Hey ho. I got paid, and I just went absolutely mental. Just went straight to the pub. It's like 12 Jaeger bombs. Bam, here you go.
Do you know you can do that when you're under the age of like 27? Like you can do that. Could you in any sense start the night off with a shot? I'm having a beer or a glass of wine.
Oh no, don't get me wrong. First drink's always a beer, but like, yeah.
You still went in for 12 Jaeger bombs with your mates.
That's what I mean. A couple of drinks after.
If I hear shots, I'm like, no. I'll have one to be polite, but after then it's no. I won't have another one at all.
Do you like a little baby Guinness?
No, I didn't want any of that stuff. I want a nice glass of red wine, and then chill. Where somewhere's not too noisy. I'm like a hotel man. I go into hotel bars. You'll see me at the Penta. You'll see me at my Maison, or you'll see me at the Forbury, which is called something else now. But yeah, that's where I am. I'm I'm not doing downtown. It's crazy. Though I do like a cheeky Weatherspoons, but like on a Sunday morning.
On a Sunday morning.
Oh yeah,
What, with all the old boys?
yeah. Well, yeah, I'm one of those. So we're talking
Yes.
about. So
Pint of
Love
super
it.
tea, please.
yeah, it's so good. Are you okay, Scott? Are you good?
I'm all right. It's just life, innit, right?
You worry me when you wear your Mind t-shirt. I feel like it's like a signal to be like, are you okay?
Oh, no, I see it this morning and obviously wanted to make myself feel good, so...
It does. Do you know it's a really good colour on you?
Thanks. Does it bring my eyes out?
It really does, though. It's really weird.
It does.
There
No,
you go.
it's been a difficult week for me. Obviously, my therapy's about to step up to the next level.
Mhm.
And obviously, I don't know if I'm scared, not scared. It's like taking
I think
it
it's
to
a
the
good thing
next.
to be apprehensive.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's kind of obviously I'm dealing with that is probably the main part. I've been waiting for so long. I think I'm 17 sessions in now, and obviously this is like the bit where they start putting your back together.
Yeah.
And obviously this is a 2.5 hour one. So
Same amount as long as this podcast.
I don't know. I'm just apprehensive about it all. Not that it's not going to work. It's just obviously you're opening a lot of like a can of worms, aren't you?
As always, it's always worse here
Yeah.
than in reality.
Yeah.
So you'll be fine. But I'm looking forward to next week because I want to hear all about it. If you'll feel free
Yeah,
to talk about it, 'cause
Definitely.
that's a big
Yeah.
thing.
Well, hopefully.
I'm up for therapy. I've not done it. I feel like I probably should, but I'm up for it. I felt really bad, and I really shouldn't talk about this but he probably won't watch. But like a friend of mine told me some news today, and I feel absolutely fucking shit. I feel like crying.
Yeah.
Like their sadness makes me so sad because I can't fix it. Like I'm such a fixer, you know, like we were kids and stuff like that. Like all you want to do is sort of fix. I actually feel like really emotional for someone else, and I don't know if there's emotion going on in me right now, and maybe because I'm just bloody tired. But just someone's news just floored me, and I was like, I actually don't have any bloody words for you, mate. I'm gonna give you a
you
hug.
can't fix everything, and that's the bit that with what you're.
It's stages though. It's like it you know when things just seem you deal with the situation and then the next piece of news just floors you.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
it's
that's
just
kind of
really
what.
tough.
So obviously I've had that bits and pieces, and obviously a friend of mine who's confided in me with certain, and it's like you want to help them, but you can only go with your own experience.
I feel like you just have to pick up pieces when at the end you just have to be there, but in the end no one really will is great when they're not great at taking advice in their moments and the stuff like that. So when things go wrong, you're just like, hey, I'll pick you up. You know what I mean? Never sort of overly lean into it. If they want to speak about it, they don't want to speak about it. Honestly, I feel like life is distraction, and if I'm feeling rubbish, like I just need to be distracted, like the most.
Yeah, and that's what I've done a lot of this
Yeah.
week, distracting myself from obviously general life problems, bits and pieces. Obviously, the closer it's getting, like obviously I had to answer yesterday so it's an hour survey, so they're asking you questions and bits and pieces in the last from scale of 1 to 5 and all that bits and pieces. So it kind of hits home. It would depend if you're having a good day or a bad day. And it's not like I'm having a bad week, because I'm not. But obviously knowing it's coming up, it's a good feeling, because I know that means I'm now on the road to, but it's quite scary because obviously you've got to go into depth of all the trauma and everything you're going through and your depression, and it's just like, am I ready for this? But
Of course you are. Nothing good comes out of not being scared.
no, that's kind of what I think. The best advice I could say is I kind of see in therapy, and I think everybody should have therapy like as an MOT.
Yeah, and it's also the gym.
Yeah, it's kind of, I've stabilised
Rehabilitation.
myself as best as I can, but obviously the therapy part now is the bit that it's like the oil change, if that makes sense. That's kind of the way I'm seeing it.
Well, I'm looking forward to next week. Maybe we should make a bit of it. If you feel that you want to, then we can make it into a bit of a Scott special, and we can kind of.
Sounds like a plan.
I like to do
Speaking of Scott special, Scott's got
that. That just sounds like something disgusting. Would you like a little bit of Scott special? Right. Wink to the camera.
Anyway,
Wink to the camera.
Speaking of Scott special, hot topics today, of course,
Ooh.
and we did put a poll out. Don't press it just yet. Let me just do a little bit
Yeah,
of a link.
can you see? He was finger happy.
We
there.
done a poll. Well, I done a poll last week. Put all of the 5 sound effects what Dan made for a potential opening for hot topics. We We didn't have no conclusive winner, so I've come up with the idea of loading Hot Topic 4 and Hot Topic 5 onto the soundboard. I've done it twice just for a little bit of psychology purposes. Hopefully that way Scott won't go with his favourite number or something like that. So you got 2 of each on there, and whatever one he presses is going to be our intro.
This is like a rubbish Ant and Dec challenge. Which button will Scott press?
Just to let you know, you got 2. Retract that. You got one sound effect on one sound effect on the other, and the other 2 are just there for electric shock. So I've got this camera looking straight at you.
Oh, is this like Jackass when they put the things in their steering wheel, the airbags, and you fly off at the top? I think we should have those. Yeah, let's do it.
No, I'm only joking.
Okay, right. It is that time.
Go ahead.
Scott, press that button.
Hot Topic.
There we go.
You know what I mean? It's there.
There we go. That was the one me and you wanted, Dan, wasn't it?
That's the one. That's the first one I made.
I like
that. Hang on.
Hot Topics.
I put some echo on the voice and everything.
And do you want to play the runner-up?
Oh, here we go. Go on.
So you can find it.
That one. Oh, that's the one I wanted.
Topic.
Oh, do you like that one?
I like that one.
Well, we got 2. We can do both. We don't normally do at least 2 hot topics.
What we can do one's intro, and we can do that other one's outro.
There we go.
How about that?
Hot topics. There you go. Live. Cool. What's going on, Kels?
Yeah, that was a fun little exercise, wasn't it? Right.
Scott's
so
special.
Today's hot topic, we're just going to be talking something slightly serious today, speaking about energy increases and, more importantly, the food shopping increases. As unfortunately, the rising cost of energy isn't only thing going up. The rise in energy costs, the war in Ukraine, COVID lockdowns, and you can also add Brexit to that list of reasons why the food shop is getting more expensive. The 2.97%, sorry, I just had to change the camera there. The 2.7% year on year, that's what I mean, multitasking, right?
I like it.
2.7 year on year increases in prices reported by the British Retail Consortium was the highest since September 2011 and up 2.1% from March. It's a difficult time for the majority, for those who are struggling most. Looking at a mental health point of view, how can these sorts of people get through this period?
That's quite a good...
How are you getting through it?
Like everybody else, trying to find... So when obviously you're going to supermarkets and bits and pieces, you find out what's on the latest deal, right?
Yeah.
So obviously Sainsbury's and bits and pieces, there's all them lot are getting very clever at it. Because obviously what I did notice, so Walker's Crisps, you've got the 6 for £2.75.
Yeah.
Then you've got the 12 for £2.50.
Oh.
But if you didn't know that, or look at it, what they've actually done, you would have went, who needs 12 crisps in one go?
That's not helping my diet, is it?
No.
I want the smaller one, but then it's going to be more expensive.
So obviously what they don't. And then next week, so I went to go and get them the next week for the kids and bits and pieces of packed lunches, they'd put it up to £3. But if I hadn't have looked, I would have automatically thought it was £2.50. And obviously what they're trying to do, and what I didn't realise is most of the products in the supermarkets, they're actually losing money on. There's ones that they're making the money. So are they hoping that you buy this one, but they lose money, but you also buy the one that makes the money. But without having budgets, because obviously I watched a thing yesterday on it. A woman was saying, if every person in the world grew a different vegetable or a different, had a different food, whether it was cow, sheep, whatever was going on, you could trade with every other person and never have to pay for food.
Well, that's what it used to be.
Right.
Yeah.
So my question is, the government must know, so they've decreased everything, energy bills have gone up, they put that 350 quid grant in it, but it doesn't even scratch the surface. But obviously there's got to be people out there, well, there's loads of people, hundreds, thousands.
Yeah.
It must be affecting them daily, how they're going to, like their mental health is being affected by, how do I feed my kids?
I'll be really intrigued to see what's happening with the food banks right now. I can imagine
they're being slaughtered.
And that's really tough because I have to say, I need to be better at it. I'm not good enough. Unless someone says, hey, can you put this there? Or say, we need this. It's not my first thought. And it's because I probably haven't been to a food bank. No, I haven't. I've never been to one. So I know it's the need. But I'm still, when I go shopping, I'm not thinking, oh, I need to just get a can of beans or get some, some shampoo or whatever and just put it in the box when I'm leaving. And I feel like I should. I think it should be that thing of like, oh, I'll pick up 2 of those because they're on deal, so I don't need both of them. So I can put the other one, buy one, get one free in there. And I think that we need to put it in our lexicon of like, that's what we need to do.
Yeah, but obviously for people that have got more money than most people, they don't realise all they're truly worried about, it's not affecting their mental health. But until somebody addresses it, they're causing a crisis. So basically, how I see it is, you're right, Brexit, all the bits and pieces, that everything that's changing around the world is obviously pushing energy prices up. The energy prices go up, that means the man that's delivering crisps, potatoes, whatever, his fuel's going up. So obviously that price has to go up.
Yeah.
But where does it stop? Because obviously you're now affecting people's mental health.
Well, it can only go up to a point that people can afford it. Like I'm saying, obviously, it's going to push people over the edge. But in the end, if you physically can't, if say everyone can afford it, well, it couldn't go up. Like us trying our best to pay for stuff and trying to get the best deals or whatever stuff like that, we're still allowing it to go up. Imagine we're like, well, we're not going to buy it now, because they would have to put it down.
Isn't that down to the government, obviously? But what I'm saying is that it's affecting people's mental health. But obviously the government say, oh, we can't afford it. But all that's going to end up happening is the NHS, that's owned by the government, is going to end up with people with more mental health problems.
It's really hard because the prioritizing stuff is quite difficult. Like everyone's got to tighten their belts. Everyone's got to say, do you know what? I can't buy that shirt. I can't go on that holiday.
Yeah,
and I don't know if we live in that society. We're gonna, they're still going to Magaluf, but they're like, oh, I can't afford food.
Yeah, I can
go
and get a tattoo, but I can't afford to feed the kids. I can go and get Botox, but can't afford to feed the kids.
Are you saying what I did last week? I can't move my face.
But as a society, not just obviously in the UK, but obviously around the world, we are one of these people that, why can't we have? But it's true though, isn't it? Like, if you can afford a phone that's £1,300 or whatever it is, then you can afford to feed your kids.
It's a really difficult thing because we have it like, you could say like, well, don't buy that bottle of wine, don't buy that fax. You know what I mean? Like, then they'll be like, well, don't tell me what to do. It's so hard. What do? Those increases are crippling, especially the older people, right?
Yes.
Especially, and I'm glad it's actually got a bit warmer because they're not so sufficient on having to have the heating on. These problems normally happen in the winter, and that's like the worst time.
But why? Right, this is the bit, obviously. I think it's mad that we're in 2022.
Yeah.
Right? We can send people to the moon, but we can't solve an energy problem.
Well, it's
Or have we solved it? But because it comes down to money, they'd rather mess with people's
money and location. I think the problem is, obviously, the stuff that's going on in Russia and stuff like that. There's a huge.
Yeah, but hang on.
They do own a lot.
There's technology out there.
Yeah.
That we don't. So there's a guy in America. Perfect example, right? He's developed basically like a solar panel.
Right.
That can go on. It's about that thing. It's made from recycling glass.
Mm-hmm.
And it can go in the road. It lights up the roads. It can't be frozen. But it's a solar panel. So if you put all of them all over the UK, that alone would generate enough electric, and obviously have electric boilers, heating, all that sort of stuff, for free.
Yeah. Well, just saying
the technology exists,
we're
but
just
we
in a
won't do it.
huge deficit. Like the last 2.5 years has just completely thrown us. Like this has never happened in our lifetime or our parents' lifetime. So the money's spent.
Yeah, but the people that are making the decisions have got money and don't have to worry about all this. Their mental health's not being affected by any of this, is it? Let's be fair.
I don't know.
I
do know rich people that their mental health is terrible. We just had the drummer kill himself from Foo Fighters. You know what I mean? Just having money doesn't mean anything.
It's not real. It's not a real method of happiness, is it? Money.
You think it's going to be.
Yeah.
You think it's going to make you happy,
junk happiness,
and then you realize, what? That doesn't make me. When people get married and have kids and buy their house, and they go, "Well, that's the dream, wasn't it?" No. You're like, but that's supposed to make me happy. No.
Yeah,
it doesn't.
No, not.
Like, it's so difficult, and you put this stuff that's going on, and you go into the supermarket, and you have to be savvy about buying stuff. That's so hard. But yet again, are people being as disciplined as they can be? Are they sacrificing? Are they not buying that new phone? Are they not buying those new trainers and not spending £250 in an aisle? Are they, in a situation? I'm joking. You just got paid. You can do whatever you want with your money.
In my defence, on that invoice was over £900 worth of fuel I hadn't claimed.
Oh, I'm not giving you a hard time. I'm just saying, I'm not saying with you.
903 quid, so that's why I went to spend it willy-nilly.
But I'm just saying, in a sense that if you do stuff like that, it's harder to complain that the state of living is harder when you're just going to blow money. And trust me, I blow money. You should see my
that facial expression. Then we're gonna have to slow that down, aren't we?
I blow money.
Put a little
£10
cigar coming out of the mouth.
You know what I
mean? Don Danyl.
Don Danyl.
I'm not crazy. You know what I mean? I don't have any debt. I spend, apart from mortgage and stuff like that, but I spend within my means. But when it comes and you get the rebate and you can, you got £900, you can spend a quarter of it. Who gives a crap?
But so would you say with the energy crisis and bits and pieces that's going on now, then it's not affecting your mental health?
100%.
It is affecting you?
Yeah.
Why?
Because I could be fired from my job at any possibility, any moment. They can just say we don't want you anymore.
I told you that last week not to come back on this show, and you're still here.
You're not paying me.
Does that mean we can't fire
it? You can easily fire me. Just tell me not to come back, really. But you're not paying me.
So generally, obviously,
I'll think twice about buying some stuff. Even my friend said,
"Do
you want to go on this holiday?" And I was just like, I don't know if I can, because I'm already going on one. To go on another one 2 weeks afterwards. Is that fair? Does that seem right? Probably not, because I'm not thinking about the future. I really don't actually have a pension. The majority of people who work in my industry, as in freelance, we don't normally have pensions.
So you don't have advisors? I meant not in a bad way, but I meant as in, obviously, you seem very switched on. I thought you would have.
No, I just advise myself. I have assets. I have a house and some things that I bought that hopefully appreciate in value. But the only way I've ever made money is through property. Ever.
Yeah, that seems to be. But so with obviously energy prices and everything that's going up, and so it's affected not me as much. It's affected my mother quite a lot.
Yeah, but which, by the way, affects you, because you have to you have to take that on board. That's a big thing. I'm lucky my mum probably doesn't. I don't think she has a mortgage. You know what I mean? So I'm lucky in that situation. My dad's not with us anymore. So, but it's probably affecting my sister and her family. You know what I mean? It is tough. And then I think, how do the kids rent a house or buy a house or save a deposit or make money? How do you do that when you're 16, 17, 18-year-old and they want to pay you a $5 an hour somewhere? You're like, what? How do you?
I don't think it's possible nowadays, and I don't think.
Do you think that about with your kids? I know we've gone off topic a little bit, but
so basically, my son said to me yesterday, Dad, as a friend of mine, she still lives at home with her parents. She hasn't moved out, but I pointed out to him, I said, the reason why she hasn't moved out is purely because the parents don't charge her rent. They have comfortable jobs that they don't need to charge her rent, so she has the holiday. She's
got a lifestyle.
She's got a lifestyle,
mm-hmm.
and she loves the lifestyle she has. So. To sacrifice, if she wants to
100%.
go on a date, you book a hotel, correct?
100% not making my kids' life easy.
No.
Ever. They're out. They're out.
He actually turned around and said to me, Dad, if I'm still living at home that age, throw me out.
Please.
That was from a 14-year-old.
I think you have to charge them rent. Let's go. Sorry, Cals, we're on that one.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, so just moving on slightly.
Do I need to do the hot topics again?
No. We're still on the hot topics. We're still going to be on it for another 5 minutes or so. So we spoke last week about values, and for me, that includes helping people. So answer this. With the cost of living increasing, should I feel bad if I decide to go against my value and not help someone?
A stranger, you don't have to help if you don't want to.
What I'm trying to refer to here is yesterday, some woman, I normally always give to charity, and I was like, I had to think about it.
Is that the dogs?
Guide dogs, yeah.
That's exactly, when I went in there as well.
So normally I would, because I always want to help.
It's all right. Postcode's given him 5 million, so it's fine. Just play postcode lottery, and then
was I right to feel bad for saying no.
But I think the traction of people giving money to anyone standing outside a shop is probably less than 5% anyway. So I wouldn't feel that bad. It's not like everyone was and you weren't. It's not going to remember that you didn't. You might give it next time. You might give it next year. You might give it in 3 years' time when you're in that position to do it. But at this point of your life and your career and everything like that, that is not your priority. Everyone has to get their own house in check before you can start sorting out someone else's house. You can't just give. Because if you give to guide dogs, why are you not giving to someone else? You know what I mean? They'll be like, oh, you care about pets before people? Like, that's what people will say.
Yeah.
It's crazy. You can never win. Now, even if you do a great deed, you're doing it, what, to feel good? I don't know if that's great. You know what I mean? Like, you should do it.
If you could afford it, genuinely, I think people should. So, like, obviously, it's the good, dumb balance thing, isn't it? If you understand what I mean.
No, explain.
So, obviously, a lot of people that do it, like to give to charities, kind of offset the bad things that they're doing. Do you understand what I mean?
Okay, yeah. Sin stuff, yeah.
So, like, obviously, I found myself yesterday when I came out of there and obviously, she's like, have you got 2 minutes? I'm like, look, I don't mean to be rude, but you can't support every charity.
No.
And
yeah.
And obviously, there's certain
You could have just said
charities-
no.
I know, but then I felt like I had to make an excuse.
Sorry, no. I
To
did.
justify it.
Do you know what I mean? Because again, I know what you meant. It makes you feel a little bit guilty because if I was blind, I would want a dog.
Yeah.
But obviously, I'm not in that situation. So I'm like, well, what's more priority? Like you said, is it the dog or like I give to Great Ormond Street?
Yeah, but
you can't do both.
No, you can't do
You just can't
everything.
afford it.
Yeah, exactly. You can't do everything. So have a focus and just be like, or play postcode lottery, and then you just do it anyway.
Yeah, right.
How
Staying.
much is he on? He's worried about his job.
I know,
they get
he
it,
is,
fine.
isn't he?
I am
He's after
scared.
another promotion.
Yeah, totally.
Got shares in the company. Right, today is May the 4th, and what does that mean, guys?
Star Wars.
Star Wars Day. May the 4th be with you, and it's also my nephew's
I wish I
birthday.
was born
Happy
today.
birthday, Harrison!
Happy
Gonna
birthday,
see you
Harrison.
later.
How old is he?
7 today.
Ah,
Can't believe it's mad.
That's
I would
crazy.
swap birthdays with him.
Yeah, I know.
Not obviously
Just for the
age.
May the 4th, right?
May the 4th, right?
Cool birthday,
Either that or
man.
St. Patrick's Day I would like to be involved on. They're the 2 days.
Yeah,
I've
but
got.
St. Patrick's Day changes because no, it doesn't.
No.
Is it? No, but is it always on a Sunday?
No.
It's going to be any day then.
Yeah,
It's just
yeah.
the 17th of March.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Is this a weird day to just?
No, it'd be great because no matter what happens, you can go out even by yourself and you're guaranteed to have a party with someone.
Yeah,
Guaranteed.
But it's not a day off here. In Ireland, it is.
Of course, it's day off. I know loads.
We don't have a day off here. You're not getting a day off work for St. Patrick's Day in England.
No.
What?
No, you don't.
In Ireland, you do. Here, you won't.
Oh, it's probably because half my family's Irish. So I've always just assumed everyone got it.
It's like that. Where's Scott?
Yeah, I was gonna say we worked here on Berkshire Channel on St. Patrick's Day in March.
Oh, yeah, but they, in like America, where my cousins are, they dyed the River Green. Genuinely.
Yeah,
they
but
dyed
majority
the
of
River
people
It
in
doesn't
America
surprise me.
are
And it getting a bit off topic, but
Yeah.
it's a shame that we don't have that same level of patriotism in this country.
No, it
for
just
St.
looks.
George's Day.
It just
Everyone's
looks
more
racist
excited
now.
about May the 4th.
Yeah,
St.
got
George's
a bit
Day.
off topic, right? But anyway, getting back to it. So, not going to go into all of the Star Wars. Just going to look at it from a mental health perspective, and it's also Mental Health Awareness Month. So,
Okay, gosh.
I found these 4 pointers for you to help you stay one with the Force.
Ooh.
Number 1, take care of your own mental and physical health first. 2, use humour to defend against the dark side. 3, be mindful of your thoughts, Anakin. They'll betray you. And 4, seek help to reach the light side.
Ah.
What would you add to that?
Oh my God! I'm not even prepped for this.
Yeah, no, it's all
Ali sent it out to you this morning.
only
I
thing
didn't
is
put-
off the cuff here.
I would say to keep the ones that benefit your life close and throw out the ones that don't. Yeah, that's what I'm going to say. Yeah, just keep the ones that does make your life a bit better and just throw out the ones that don't.
Go towards the light.
Well, he said that. You sound like a fly. It's so
Oh, hang on. You've got to be
beautiful.
careful that one because that's kind of when you're dying as well, right?
Don't go towards the light. No, Scott. Yeah, this is a mental health podcast. Don't go towards the light. Just saying you.
Right.
Here we go.
Hit number.
Here
Did
we
you get
go.
it right?
Yeah.
Hot topics.
And it finishes for another week,
next
unfortunately. But don't worry, I've got another mental health exercise for you.
Oh, here we go.
Courtesy of Dr. Rangan Chatterjee again. This one here is called Define Your Happiness Habits.
Oh.
Both of you, think of 3 values that bring. Both of you and the audience. I'll leave them out, can I? Jesus. Think of 3 values that bring you a sense of happiness and commitment.
Oh, Tinder.
So, all right, Dan, to start, 3. Just go for it.
Okay. So friends, definitely. My dog, and just acts of kindness from strangers.
Cool. Scott? And sorry, just one sec. Remember them.
Oh,
Oh.
I should have told you to write them down.
no, I'm writing them down. It's fine.
Do you want me to write yours down for you?
I've got it. No, it's fine. I'm good. You can write down. You can write down
I'll
Scott's.
write down
I
Scott's.
don't need
Yeah.
to write mine.
Yeah, he knows them. It's right.
Mine's Jim.
Who's Jim?
Sure, of course it would be, wouldn't it?
Yeah, of course.
No, not in there. You said 3 values.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah,
I
so
like
Jim,
it. Okay.
my kids, and this mental health podcast.
Ah,
Genuinely,
Okay.
I do actually see this as a.
episode 14.
It's like a
I
therapy
didn't say
session
it.
for me in a way.
It's good. I
Okay,
like it.
well, it's kind of gone a little bit off track there.
Off
off
topic.
topic. So it was more like like subjects, not necessarily like the podcast and things like that. So, like for example, this would be like fulfilling your passions or something like that. You know what I mean? So now we're gonna think about a happy ending. So
What?
yeah, well, not. I knew you would say that. He's such
Tinder
a
and a
dirty
happy
mind, didn't he?
ending.
What's he mentioned? He's mentioned Tinder.
Yeah.
He's
Happy- you said
tried
happy
putting
ending.
anecdote, or not anecdote, but you know what I'm trying to say,
Euphemism.
about Scott Surprise.
Oh yeah.
And now we've got this. Dan, PG, mate, come on.
I
You
got
don't know
hit
who's
on.
watching.
I got hit on yesterday, so that's what it is.
Oh, here we go. Here
when
we
I was
go.
at a gig.
Fair play.
Yeah, I mean,
Fair
so hello.
Right. Yeah. Think about your happy ending. Imagine you're on your deathbed. What are 3 things you want to have done in your life?
3 things.
Not
that I'd
necessarily
like
like,
to have
again, not jumping out of a plane, but again, like by the time you're on your deathbed, you want to have spent your life helping people.
Yeah, I would like to have
Blah,
made
blah.
a difference, like left a legacy. I think I'd like that I brought something to people's lives more than just friendship. You know what I mean? Just kind of like made an impact. I think is a big one, and I think just to embrace more colors. It sounds really stupid, but just being outside and seeing all the colors, especially at this sort of time, of all the flowers and all the trees and all the and do you know what I mean? Even just right now, there's like the red pillow. You know, just having those sort of visions, and I love that because I feel it makes you feel better. Like I think the color yellow, we've got it on the chairs right now, always makes you feel good.
It's scientifically proven.
That's how you
is.
sell a house.
Yeah.
That you have yellow in a house because it actually brightens it up. There's an element of this house is happy. So people have lemons and stuff like that. So that's what I'm going to go for.
And one more, just to push you.
I would say that I had fulfilled like most of my ambitions that I had when I was younger.
Yeah.
Also, just to let myself not be as judged on what I look like and all that sort of stuff as much, and not like what I look like compared to like 5, 10, 15 years ago, which I do get compared to all the time because that's when I was famous. So that's when all the stuff is. So people are like, oh, you don't look the same. Like that. It's 13 years ago. What do you look like 13 years ago? It's so weird.
And Scott.
Go on.
So
It's a hard one.
it is a
It's
very
a really
hard one.
different one.
It
Yeah.
The main
Yeah,
things
it's a
that
bit
I would
hard
like
to-
to have achieved is obviously my name going down in history.
It already has, mate.
But I kind of have already started that because I've kind of thought about it before. Like I've called my son Scott Jr. and obviously hopefully he has a son and carries the name on. So there's always going to be a Scott Allen in history. from
Scott the Third.
now on. But the other thing that I would have liked to have achieved, that my kids are prepared for the world, that they don't need me to help them and guide them.
Wow.
That they're
Nice.
ready, they're ready, that I don't die and they're not ready. Because obviously it wasn't until many years ago I thought, like, when your parents are dead, that's your safety net, right?
Yeah.
And obviously I've hoped that I've achieved by the time that I can, is it die peacefully? Is that the word you're looking for? That you're not worried.
You know your kids are okay.
Yeah,
They're
that,
happy. They've
gonna
got a
be
nice
okay.
relationship.
May not be
they've got a-
financially, but obviously they're prepared. They're tough enough, streetwise as I call it, to continue. And the other thing I would like to achieve is to die happy, is to not actually regret I didn't do this, I didn't do that. I couldn't tell you exactly what, like we were saying about jumping up planes. That's not my priority and stuff like that. But obviously to not go, oh, well, I wish I had. I wish, I hope to achieve by the time that comes that.
And that's
I'm happy.
That's the whole part of this exercise. So defining your happiness habits and imagining you're on your deathbed, you should have really 3 different things. And if you don't and they're all the same, then that's perfect. Because what it's trying to get at here, so mine would be helping others, pursuing things I'm passionate about, and movement, as in exercise, would be the happiness habits. And then on my deathbed, I was thinking about stay connected to friends and family, lived up to my potential and helping others. So already there are the 3 things which I'm saying my happiness habits, are they going to get me to my end goal? And if they're not, then you probably need to change them.
Yeah. I found also to get, what you're talking about here, it also depends on the people around you. If you surround yourself with negative, down people, then you'll stay like that. But if you have more positive people around you, the better your life will be.
You just got to find them, and it's really hard to get rid of horrible people that are not good for you. It's really difficult because sometimes they're in your family.
I've just found to cut them off. I've got to the stage, or before I would have been like what you said, but now I just cut them off because the most important thing is getting life short, and you don't know when it's going to end. So you've kind of got to get everything ready for the magical day, right?
Okay.
Big time, right. Words of wisdom, guys. I'm going to start. It relates back to what Scott just finished there, and also one of the points I made from the May the 4th, and it's by a fella called Abraham Hicks. If you're not thinking about a negative thought, your vibration is going to raise to its natural positive place.
Dun, dun, dun. I feel like I'm going to have that on a placard. On my fridge or something. Mine is live now. Not too much in the future. I think that's why so many people have anxiety, because they think it's so much about the future. But if you just live now, anxiety doesn't live now. No. It always lives in the future. Yeah. So if your perception of always trying to think ahead, always trying to think ahead of what you're going to do, blah, 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 that's where you're just going to have this kind of like, I've not achieved that, I'm not going to do this, blah, blah, blah. Try and live for now. You can think about the future, of course. I think it's really important. But just take every day. There's a great film called About Time. And no spoilers, really, but he figures out that he can replay the same day. But he then figures out actually he just has to just love the moment that it is, and there's so much fun there.
One day at a time.
Oh my god!
What one's that called? Is that Boss Level?
What was that?
But is it Boss Level?
What?
That film you're on about?
No, it's called About Time.
Oh, it's called About Time.
It's called About Time. Yeah, it's called About Time, and it's a really, really nice twee film. But yeah, that's what I'd say. So just kind of just live for kind of now, and not worry too much about the future. Like, I think you have to have an idea that where you want to go, but allow that just be an idea. So like, you know what I mean? Like, that's going to make you want to breathe into a brown paper bag too much. What about you, Scott?
I would have said like take one day at a time, but it needs to be more expanded on that. Things will eventually sort itself out. That's what I've learned. It's not to panic about everything. It's as long as you wake up healthy in the morning, you're still breathing, you're there for another fight, right?
Sounds good.
Brilliant. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed this podcast. We'll be back next Thursday with another one.
Good luck.
Good luck.
Yeah.
For Friday.
Yeah. Speak to you soon, guys.
Ciao.
See ya.
Cheers.